Hey, this is Alex Power with My Creative Cinema, and today I'm gonna do a quick review of Panasonic GH5 camera, and I'll tell you why I think this is a good camera for beginners and for the advanced users as well. I've been using it for 3 months, so stay with me. We'll be right back. First of all, ergonomics of this camera is being designed in a very good way, and it feels very solid in your hand. All the buttons on the top, it's been positioned that you can reach them easily, including a record button that's been removed from the back, like on the GH4, and placed right here on the top of the camera, which I'm finding as a very cool feature for my needs. The body is weather sealed just like a GH4 camera, and it uses exactly the same Panasonic batteries, so you can use them if you have some left from your old camera, or if you just got this one in addition to your GH4. The downside though, it runs through these batteries much faster than the GH4 camera. The main feature that lots of people were talking about, and that's a huge deal for many people, that it's 60 frames per second in 4K. You can get a really good quality in 4K, slow down your footage to 25% or below that, and receive a very nice 4K footage slow motion. I don't think any of the smaller DSLRs and mirrorless cameras offer this feature. The one I think of is Canon 1DX Mark II, but that's much bigger body, and the price tag for that Canon camera is much higher, 3 times higher than this one. It offers 180 frames per second and 1080, but I found this quality of the variable rate frames, when you increase them, goes down definitely comparing to the 4K 60 frames per second, and also you cannot record a sound and you can't use autofocus. So this is a trade-off. But if you really need to slow that down that much, you can use it for B-roll shots or for anything else. Another exciting news that GH5 now uses the full sensor of the Micro Four Thirds, which is 2.0 crop factor, comparing to the GH4 when you had 2.30. So you're getting this extra 15% of a sensor coverage, which means bigger field of view for your videos. Also, without losing any quality, you can customize one of the buttons to do a switch for you, and you can switch from the full sensor to this 2.3 sensor crop factor. And I think this is huge. So let's say if I have a long lens, I wanted to get even closer to my subject, I can now, without switching the lens, do this crop just by pressing the button, and that's without losing any quality. The next very exciting feature will be 2-card slot here inside the camera, which you can record simultaneously video to 2 different cards separately. Use one as a backup, or you can just simply record to one, and when one gets full, you can switch to another one. In that case, when you record to one card and it switches to another one when the first got full, you can hot swap the card without stopping recording. So if you have a long concert, or if you have some performance that you're recording and you don't want to stop, you simply remove the full card and then you put an empty one on that slot, and it will be recording on the other one meanwhile. And again, when the other one fills up, it will switch to the empty one. So this is a win-win situation. Not to mention, it's not stopping like Canon or Sony cameras after 30 minutes of recording. That is actually a big deal for many people who wants to record for a longer time. Next big thing is in-body 5x stabilization, which you can use in combination with a lens stabilizer. So this lens, for example, has a stabilizer in it, and then I can turn it off, but I can still use in-body stabilization. That means I can put some lens without any stabilization in it, and it will stabilize the footage. So that means if you use any of your Canon lenses through an adapter, it will give you that stabilization inside the body, and it's definitely a good one. So you can do many handheld shots and they will be usable for your videos. Also, new 2.0 firmware update of the camera offers now much more recording modes, and they include 10-bit video, but unfortunately you can't just record this 10-bit 422 on UHS 2 cards. You need much faster cards, V90 or V60, that are designed for that, and they're kind of costly right now. Not a big deal for me. 8-bit is good enough, but if I ever need to record 10-bit video, I can do this on my cards for about 20 seconds and then it stops because the buffer is not allowing you to go any farther. If I ever wanted to record a longer video, I can record externally. And talking of the external recording, another great news, you have a full HDMI port right on the side of the camera. So that means no more broken cables, and you can connect your Atomos Ninja or Atomos Shogun or whatever you have there and record externally and receive higher bit rates. Unfortunately, camera is still not as good as the Sony competitors for the low light performance, but you can use a faster lenses, and honestly I can live with it. But there is a slight improvement from the GH4, so now I can comfortably shoot ISO 3200, and that's not going to be introducing any noise pretty much. Panasonic offers a Vlog L, a log format that you can purchase separately on Panasonic website for $100, and occasionally they go on sale. I've got mine for $89. I did a video test and I posted the link of the $89 Vlog, but then after a few days they raised the price back, so you need to stay alert for this kind of sales if you want to get it cheap. So usually around holiday season they have some sales and such things, so keep that in mind. Another very good feature that you can take your settings and save it on the card, and let's say you have two GH5s, you can transfer from one GH5 to another one, and that will recognize all the settings and you have it right on your new camera. In the past, Panasonic offered that XLR extension type of a grip for GH4, and that thing looked ugly and it didn't do any good, and the price tag was around $1,000. So basically people who purchased, they were really disappointed about that unit. But right now they released new one for GH5. It comes right on top of the camera on a hot shoe, and you don't need to connect this with the cable. It's already connecting through the hot shoe mount, and that will give you an XLR extension. And if you're rigging this camera, which is I'm about to do, and I will make a review on that too, this is great tool for videography. If you want to plug in your XLR and all the levels you can play with right on top of this thing, there's a little glass on the side, and I think this is a very good tool if you want to up your game and the sound. From now on, GH5 camera will be my favorite travel camera because it's very compact, lenses are small, and you can just simply throw it in your bag and take it anywhere, and you don't need to compromise on the quality. I think comparing to other platforms like Sony and even Canon, the lenses prices are very fair and they're not going to break your bank. There is simply too many options to list for this camera, so I really recommend it. I like it. I'm using it. This is not my only camera, but this definitely became one of my favorite cameras. If I missed some option or feature, put it in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, drop a comment, and press this bell notification button that you won't miss any of the future videos that I release on this channel. See you next time.